Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5 and the first mod we are checking out in some time. I'm now getting back into checking out mods for GTA 5 and I want to start with this thing right here. I've been really excited to check this out. I've been holding back on looking at any mod until I did a video on it. And I really wanted to check this out. This is the Bordeaux Arias. This is like a law-friendly version of a Peugeot 106. And one of the amazing things about this is actually a scratch-built model made by 13 Stuart C. I always love to see this. Sometimes you get cars that are sort of like based on the real thing and whatever, but this is sweet. This is nice. So in today's video, I want to check this out. We can have a look around, and I'll probably do like 3 different versions of this just because there isn't actually that many tuning parts, so we can get through this quite quickly and do some really cool builds with this. Okay, so here we are with the Bordeaux Arias. Now, those of you in North America probably don't know much about the Peugeot 106. I'll put a picture of it right here on screen so you can sort of compare. There was also the Citroen Saxo, which was based on the same model, which just had some different body parts. But this is a very popular and well-known little compact car. Always been a fan of these. Very cool little cars. I'm always a fan of just this sort of car in GTA 5 in general. Just because they're not the sort of car you would expect to see on the streets of Los Santos. And it's just always fun just to have the ability to have these in the game. And this is a left-hand drive. So I guess you could presume this is a French import perhaps. Although it does have an American style plate fitment. So I guess this could be like a South American version or something. Not sure how that would be written into the law. To make this a law-friendly car, because this isn't really the sort of car that they would have sold in the US, so I don't know. Maybe inside of the GTA universe this was sold in showrooms over here. On the inside it's just a very basic GTA dash that you would see in many cars. We've also got our front seats and our rear seats. Also got some red stitching going on here, probably tied to the primary colour. If we open everything up, there we have our door cards, we have our boot, just carpeted, nothing too crazy. And then we have our engine. Not a full 3D engine, don't really need it. Just got this custom little bit at the top. There we go, just a nice simple 4-banger. Onto the parts then. On the spoilers, we have a couple of spoiler options. They're going to be up here, aren't they? We have the stock, we have the sports spoiler. Nice, gentle, nothing too crazy. Or we have the extended. I do like the look of that. It's got a very nice GTI vibe to it. So I think I'm going to go with that one on this first one, because I've definitely got a first initial build in mind. Then on the front bumper we've actually got, we've got some tuner style stuff. So we've got the stock, we have the facelift, nothing too crazy, but yeah, these did actually come in pre-facelift and facelift versions, so this is like a little bit more of a modernized one. Then of course we have our tuner bumper, Mark 1, Mark 2 and Mark 3. Now I did have something in mind that was sort of like max power but not. So I think I'm going to do 2 different shades of max power tuning on this one. And so with that in mind, I think I tell you what, I really want to go for like this, but with like a little splitter down the bottom. We don't really have that option. That's kind of a tough one. I think I might just go with that facelift bumper on this first one. But I would actually really have liked it if we had like a little lip or something. Okay, on the rear, we've got some interesting option names anyway. We have the Mark 1 tuner. Actually, from the start, we have this nice little cutout as well. Then we have on the... Wow, okay. So we have that. Then we have that without vents. We'll definitely do a build using this in a minute. And then we have the Mark 2, which also has the number plate slot down the bottom. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's definitely European. I don't know if we can move the plate. We'll have to check that out in a minute. Then we also have this with... What? So we actually just have a bunch of E-Cola cans just strapped to it. Not even like, they're all like out of line because they're just sort of chucked there. I mean, the sort of guy that's sticking one of these on their bumpers to look like an exhaust isn't really doing a stand-up job. They're just going to be sort of slapdash. They've got a little bend there. I like that little detail, which is sort of bent and sort of uneven. Very cool. But yeah, we could also have that with the with the Coke cans, or the E-Cola cans. I'm going to go with a no on that one. Hopefully we can try and get a plate that goes down the bottom to match with like a smoothed boot lid. That would be very cool. But for now, I think we're going to end up going with a stock bumper. But again, we've got multiple builds coming, so do not fear. I just kind of want to do this one like how I might want to do it you know, like if I had it in real life. Okay, so we also have for the skirts a bunch of tuning options as well. Yep, we've got 3 different, including that one. That's something. That's really something. This Mark II is nice. I'll definitely be using this in the later one. Actually, the Mark 1's not so bad, but it's not going to match with everything else. I'm just going to go with that stock skirt on this one. This is going to be sort of like early max power level of tuning, even though these cars probably weren't actually out in early max power levels. It was like 94. Oh no, they could have been out maybe. Anyway, we also have a bunch of exhaust options. We have the stock, we have our burnt stock, we have our race exhaust, we have our burnt race, we have our box exhaust. I'm kind of hoping for like a turned down DTM style one. We've got the burnt ones, we've got a nice twin tip burnt. Oh, we got the upturned. Okay, oh actually, yeah, upturned works. Instead of down, I think I was actually thinking upturned, not downturned. Yeah, that one. I'm going to go for that. That is very, very cool. Definitely not the sort of exhaust you see people have these days, but I do actually like those. And then for the bonnet options, we just have the stock, and then we have a carbon bonnet. I mean, if we go for a race-inspired build, I could definitely add that, but for this one, I'm going to go without. On the fenders, this is actually going to be some subwoofer options, not fender options. So we have our basic subwoofer, a couple of 12s there with a nice port on the side. Nice round ports. Then we have the subwoofer with amps. Probably the quieter version. I think that this one would actually be louder than this, but we've got a nice double amp setup and a floor build for the sub. And then we also have this one with the 2 single sets instead of like a double box. 2 12s and a larger amp down there. Even got some nice little cables coming through. Nice little detail there. I think for this one, I'm just going to go with that basic subwoofer option with the big massive port on the side. That's probably going to be the loudest too. Okay, so on the other option we have remove trim. Oh, okay. Okay, remove trim. That's a possibility. Also can go very Euro style with that. Then we have remove plate, which doesn't remove plate. Oh no! Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, maybe it's on the front. Hang on. Yes, okay, it was on the front. I'm still wondering about that rear plate option because I wanted to see how it combined with that other plate slot bumper as well and like a smoothed boot lid. But yes, that's quite cool to have the plateless option on the front. It does actually come stock with it like that. So we do have those options. That's nice. Or we can have that without. I do actually like that instead of removing the trim altogether, I like the trim just being the same color as the body but still being there. I think that's quite max power 90s as well. I think the removed trim is very 2000s Euro style. So yeah, I'm going to go without plate on that one as well, just because it also fits in with where we are in the US. And then we can just upgrade our engine, our brakes, our transmission. What's our suspension drops going to be like? Nothing too crazy. That's pretty nice. We're going to go in V-stance in a second anyway. We'll also go for some tinted windows. That's very 90s max power. We'll add our turbo, of course. In the bennies, we have no options. And we can't change the color of the dash. But we can change the color of the interior. We can have that. So I should probably decide what color to go for the outside. And then we'll match on that as well. Or actually, just keep that red. That was always a big thing. Or blue, actually. Everyone was sort of into blue. Definitely sort of like inspired by like Evo 6 interiors as well back in the day. Although that was late 90s. Also with the red stitching it kind of goes. Okay, let's pick a good colour for this. Okay, I want to go for metallic. And I really want to go for like a metallic gold. Because there is a colour that came with the... Oh, see, it's not really exactly right. None of these colours... I think I might have to get Rampage and do the same thing. So I'll put the picture on the screen of the colour that I'm thinking of. I don't know if it came with the 106, but I know that the 306 had this like metallic gold colour. So it would be nice to try and get that matching because I think that goes with this car very nicely. Okay, so I've gone for 68440. I've just been playing around to try and get a sort of dark goldish metallic. And that's about what I've come up with right there. I think that's pretty solid. I actually like that. It's not entirely like the colour that I was showing in the picture, but I think that goes really nice. Okay, so I've gone for this Driftmeister 3-spoke just because in the 90s, 3 spokes were definitely a thing. And I kind of just want to see how that works. We're definitely going to have to use some V-stancer here to play some trickery. And I might make these white or something. I'm not too sure because I kind of just want it to be silver. But the silvers end up looking a little bit too dark for me. So I think I might just go with that white just because it makes it stand out a bit more, but I'm not entirely convinced by that. So on the wheel size, I'll actually make it a little bigger and a little wider, but nothing too crazy. Because we didn't really have much in the way of... Well, people weren't stancing, at least in the max power community. It was just about sort of like a bit of drop and wheels. So I think just knocking that front height down just a tad like that, and maybe the same on the rear as well. But we'll also definitely get that tucked in just a bit. And I think now I've tucked that in, I can definitely get a bit more down on the front. Yeah, I don't want to make this too crazy. I think at this point, like, this sort of car would be on the cover of Max Power if it had a bit more power to it. So I'm actually going to knock up that torque multiplier to 2 and the horsepower multiplier to 3 or something, just to sort of give it a little bit of an extra kick. And there we go. Actually, that is a lot. There we go. That is a lot of torque and a lot of wheel spin through those front wheels. Also got a turbo sounds going on. Yeah, that fits real nice. That works so well. That is just so simple, but it just works. There we go, cruising. We've still got a blue interior, but actually I don't hate it. It's just that sort of thing where it didn't always have to be cohesive. I just really like this colour. This colour just pops really nicely, and it goes so well with the car. Right, now we've done this first build, I now want to do something a bit more crazy. Use those body kits, make a later max power build. Big wheels, slammed, kit, bright colours. Let's give it a try. But not before driving this around a little bit more. This is actually really fun to drive because it's just so small, and there's a torque steer going on because it's just non-stop, just wheel spin from the front wheels. Oh, this is good fun. Okay, terrible parking, but now I've had a bit of fun. Now I'm just going to finish. I'm just going to completely just do the build and then just show you the final thing. So let's go. Okay, so actually before I go on to do that, I did want to do this build quickly as well. I just wanted to make a sort of rally inspired one, so all I did was I just went for the poverty spec steelies, I went for white paint, and then I went for the secondary colour strip to allow me to have a red strip going all the way around, and I just went for a bigger exhaust on the back as well. But I didn't do much else other than that. I just wanted to make this into sort of, because I mean the rally was basically just a stripped down version of it anyway, so I think that works out quite nicely. That's just very simple, very effective. Just wanted to see how that comes out. I think that works very nicely. They go so well together. This is just such a cool car. Right, now I'm going to do the heavily body kitted version. Let's go. Okay, and here is the max power version. I've just gone for the Mark II bumpers on front, rear, and side as well. It's still a shame. I really wish we could have had that smooth bumper and then moved the plate down. That would have just been a very cool option to have. Also, we didn't get any different light options as well. I could have gone for some Lexus lights to really set this one off. But I've just gone for the full kit. I've gone for the bright colour. And I've gone for the big, massive wheels. And I've slammed it to the ground. I also made the wheels bigger as well. And I didn't go for any crazy fitment, you know, like sort of like stancy, camber, anything like that. But I did have to use a little camber to tuck that in at the front. But there we go. But I do want to do a cambered Euro style one. Seems we have the option for the smooth off stuff. So yeah, I'm going to do that in just a sec. But just take that in. These are just really cool. I just love this. I guess it's because I grew up with these sort of cars and I grew up reading Max Power and looking at these cars. So obviously they have a sort of place in my heart. That is really good fun. I should have actually done some tinted windows on this one as well, shouldn't I? I keep forgetting it because I don't really tint windows often, but there we go. Right, well, let's do one more then, because I want to do a full-on lowered stanced Euro style one. So let's go. Okay, and so here we are, completely done with all four. With this one, I basically just didn't change anything other than the wheels and the paint, and I did go for a little bit of an upturn exhaust, as I'm a big fan of those, but I just wanted to make these wheels really small. These are one of the new wheels from the latest update. I wanted them to be chrome. Couldn't really get that option, so I thought I'd go for white to try and just make them look a bit gleaming. I then went for this sort of metallic-y brown colour, because that's always big with the sort of the Euro style, the Volkswagen scene, all that sort of stuff. It's actually, to be honest, it goes further than that. It's just a very classy colour. And yeah, I went for the smooth strips as well, and I just tried to make that as low as I possibly could. And I think I've done that because actually, look at how low that is. You can't get any lower really without just scraping all of the stuff. Whereas on this one, oh, it's pretty low on the front. Definitely a bit higher on the rear. This one got plenty of gap, and that one loads of gap. You can actually see some of the underneath of that. Look at that. Even got some exhaust piping going along there, and some underneath of the ground. But there we go, guys. That is it for the Bordeaux Arias. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below which one of these is your favourite. Do you like the Euro style, the later max power style, the earlier performance max power style, or just my rendition of the rally version? And by rally I mean ending with a E. Rally, as in rally with E on the end. It was a special edition that came out with a bunch of Peugeots, including the 106 and the 205 and I think some others as well. But there we go, guys. That is it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you have nothing else to say, is there a word around here? Be an apex predator. That's an advert I don't think I've ever seen before. You can say security in the comment section below just to let me know you've watched the whole thing. But definitely let me know which one of these cars you would drive. But there we go, guys. That is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.